Hey guys, so we're going over one of the last datamine videos for now is the 3 and 4 star grids that came out for this month that we're getting like late May. So this isn't prevalent right now, but this is still something that's worthy of being discussed in my opinion. So we got 3 new grids in the forms of MILTANK, Beedrill, and Xatu, right? Will and Xatu. So we're just gonna go right in. So MILTANK is the free pair you get at the very start of the game, 1 out of 5. Obviously they're pullable up to 5 out of 5. So for the first unit in the game, I was looking at what this unit does. I'm like, oh my god, this shit didn't age well. So base skills, you just have mad strength 2. 30% chance of raising the user's attack by 1 star rank when a move is successful. With how things are now, this isn't as good because it takes longer to build up your attack up to a reasonable point. Granted, if you have attack supporters, it's fine, but 30% chance isn't that much. Moves Body Slam, 30% chance leaving the target paralyzed. X Speed, so +4 speed. Stomp, 30% chance making the target flinch. I'm all kinds of strong. Restores user HP by approximately 4%. And raise the user's defense by 2 stat ranks. That's all fine and dandy. So, like, a pseudo tank roll. And super cute rolling tackle. Powers the move. The move's power increases when target's paralyzed. 300 base power. You really don't see strikes with 300 base power anymore. So that's like, well, do you? No, sorry, I think techs are the ones that are lower. But yeah, like normally if there's an effect tied to the move, you normally don't see 300. So that's like pretty good, honestly. Now, you should have this unit 5 out of 5. Like if you don't, you're brand new. So I'm just going to go over 1 out of 5, 2 out of 5 as usual. You have MGRs, that's fine. It's more valuable on Stomp in my opinion because of the flinch. 2 out of 5, you get Dirty Fighting. You have lower BP moves, so it's kind of whatever to me. Don't really care for it. Fire Guard, Ice Guard, and Grass Guard. You start being able to defend against types. So you have the ability to use her as a physical defensive bulk who can heal herself because 2 out of 5 you also get access to Master Healer. So you can just be a tank, honestly. Like, tank is actually viable for her now. Especially if you have someone to top off her defenses, give her special defense, period. Fear Sentry, raise that by 1 star when it enters the battle. This is whatever to me. It's only 1 attack. Like, it can get used so you only have to worry about 1 mad strength stack, but personally I wouldn't worry about it too much. Then you have Ramming Speed. I think I said this already, but once again, lower BP moves, it's kind of whatever. Then Max Out Grid, you have Body Slam, Hostile Environment. Personally, I wouldn't bother with this, but if you need the paralysis, sure. X Speed Critical Eye, so you have the ability to raise your own crit rate up to +2. If you get the NPR, obviously, you're getting up to +3. You have Inertia with a 300 base power sync. I like this a lot. Interference Sync. Powers up. Sync moves against targets that are flinched, confused, or trapped. You would need another flincher to make this really worth it, so you would use, like, for example, Tech Egg Kangaskhan. Because you have access to Lear, where she also has Defense Crush 4, so you can get the target's defense down very quickly. You have access to another Stomp for more flinches, and you have access to the normal tag, so that gets her attack up even higher. Which, speaking of the attack, I completely forgot to even mention that. Her attack, assuming you get her, assume you do 5 stars, right? 5 star, 0, 500. 351 attack, not 500, Jesus Christ. So 350 isn't horrible. It certainly could be better because 4 stars is 330, but like, it's not horrible base attack. Like, I'm still hung up on the sync move. So yeah, you use her as a sync nuke. So you need a little bit of critical support, a little bit of speed, she needs a little bit of everything. But if you give her that everything, she can be used for off-type damage pretty consistently. And also tanking it in the event that you need it. Another master rank down here. 50% chance, that's a little better. And Stomp Aggravation. If you don't want to use her for Sync Nuke or whatever, you can use her as a flincher for 40%, along with guarding and a little bit of healing. So overall, I think this unit isn't that bad. I think they gave her a pretty good grid considering how mediocre her base kit is. Like, I personally am very curious to see how this unit works, because normal types in this game are very weird when it comes to how they age. Because you have people like Tykanscon that are obviously made for flinching and debuffing. You have people like Gladian who are built to be, okay, I just become super effective. Like, normal types are in a weird spot because they don't have access to on-type damage for the most part. So you need to kind of build them around that. Like also Loki, for example. She becomes fighting type. She has access to fighting type damage at that point. Now, I wish her grid gave her some form of aggravation and better healing. But it is whatever, personally. So yeah, MILTANK, very curious to see how you look, because you look strong. Now let's go into the OG King himself when the original Mewtwo event came out. If you remember those days, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So let's say you make a 5-star, right? 290 base special attack. That's not great, personally. So your only skill is impervious. Your stats can't be lowered. With stored power, the more you use stats raised, the greater the power of this move. With 15 base power, obviously scaling higher and higher, and your stats can't be dropped. So that's a good combination in and of itself. Confuse rate leaves the target confused. Fire is relentless. If any of the target stats are raised, the user's same stat changes are doubled by that amount. So this unit has the unique ability to max out his stats, like whatever it is, with whatever support is available. So if you have Eevee, for example, with the support EX who gives a lot of stats, congrats, you can double it. So that's like not bad. Air Slash, 30% chance to make the target flinch, and Sync Move, power move increases when the target is confused, 240 base power. You don't have any extra, else this would be better. Now, grid-wise, 1 out of 5, you have Unflappable, Wide Awake, Air Slash powers, Stored Power +1. Fine. Definitely not the greatest, but fine. 2 out of 5, you get Stored Power MGR, which is what you'll mostly be spamming, so that's effectively a 1-bar move. Air Slash MGR 3, fine. Precognition. With the speed supported, this is fine. Weird Recovery, fine. Sync Regen applies gradual healing to the user after its sync move. I personally won't use it, but fine. It is whatever. Then max out grid, you have Air Slash activation, so you could use him as a flincher. I like that. Fortuitous 4, 50% chance of raising one of the user's following stats by 1 sec at random when it is successful, so it's one of like almost everything. Stored Power Confusion synergy. If you have a lot of buffs with a 20% modifier and second terrain, that's hitting decently hard. Because Dark Zone with Marnie, for example, that hits really hard. It's the same thing here. You have Interference Sync, Trap, Confuse, or Flinching by 50%. So that is effectively 2 times. Then Psychic Terrain would make it 2.5. Then Sync Power Flux. Oh boy, this is the kicker for me. The forward the move gauge is when the user sync move is selected, the more this powers up the sync move. Now, Sonya and Sereni have this effect. Obviously in CS, this is a little lower than it should be. But this has the ability to hit super hard. I am just very curious to see what this unit's damage is going to look like psychic on-tap damage, because we have a lot of good psychic type units now. So where would this unit fall in? Probably if you just pair him with a bunch of buffers. I actually wish he had Rising Tide to go with this whole effect that is going on, doubling. I wish he had Rising Tide, but unfortunately he doesn't. And then stop hitting yourself. So he makes it so when you confuse someone, they have an additional chance to hit themselves in confusion. So this is effectively another turn skip. So if you have someone who can confuse effectively while he goes for flinches, he can also make them hit themselves in confusion. So it's just something else, right? All in all, this unit is interesting. I wish he had Rising Tide to be more consistent with the rest of his kit, but I want to see what people could do with this unit, because he does have an EX, so there goes what would be an additional 50% off of the sync. but this unit is built more to be a sync nuke, obviously. Stored power will be able to hit very hard now that we have Psychic Terrain, because that didn't exist when this unit came out. The ability to have your stats not drop is pretty valuable. The HP regen he gets is kind of whatever, because you're not going to use him as a tank, because he doesn't raise his own defenses naturally. You need someone else to do that. Stats condition transferring is honestly whatever. So yeah, this unit is definitely stronger in some parts than others, but I think it has the potential to be a good sync nuke if you don't have any good techs. Now, B-Drill. Ooh. There we go. Yep, that fits. Alright. So, this unit, 3-star, is considered one of the worst bugs in the game. Right? And if you look at the BBs here, like not going any further, you see why. The base power is super low. Its attack stat is not horrible. It goes up to over 400 at 5-star. And now, I always use 5-star, 0 potential as the base for these because of... because 3-star and 4-star props are not that hard to come by. But then you also see Mega as well. So, your attack goes up to over 500 at 5-star. 4-star, it's also almost there. But, that's a lot. 530? As like, permanent 6-star, although he doesn't get an EX. Like, 5-star, you have 500 attack. That's not the worst thing in the world. Skills, you have CS2. Built-in CS2 isn't bad. The issue is how you get it, right? So you have Fell Stinger raises the user's attack by 3-star ranks when it knocks out a target with its move. You need to kill people for it. And in CS, that's not the easiest thing to do because you need the attack to kill them. But you need to kill them to get the attack. It's weird. That is why passives like Iris's and Hilbert's didn't necessarily age the best. So he needs a lot more support, whereas they don't need as much support. That's why it's not as big of a deal for them. Sure, applies critical hit next to the user. If you're doing a powerful sync, it's one thing, but Tornado attacks twice in a row. 20% chance of leaving the target poisoned with 24 base power. Whatever. Build my research. Raise the user's speed by 1. Raise the user's evasion by 3 stat ranks. So this unit doesn't have any consistent crit support besides this. This unit needs attack support. Fell Stinger. Because you need kills for it. And you need a little bit of speed support as well, because your speed stat is pretty high as well, like 400 base speed at 5-star. Mega, that goes up to almost 500. So you need a little bit of speed support for that to really scale. Evasion is whatever, you are a B, I guess. Then sync move 192 base power, you become Mega B-Drill until the end of the fight. Right? So let's go over the grid now. 1 out of 5, you have fast runner, evasion can't be lowered. I'm sorry, if you have 1 out of 5 B-Drill, you are like brand new to the game. I don't know what to tell you. 2 out of 5, critical might raises the user attack by 1 star rank when it lands a crit. This helps with this attack support, but I wish this was 2. Victory lap applies critical hit next to the user when it knocks out an opponent with its move. Still relying on the whole kills thing, so you need to kill the sides first. TM, MGR, MPR, whatever. Twin Needle, MGR, whatever. And yeah, like, this unit just doesn't look all that. Now when I'm getting to 3 out of 5, we get Fierce Entry. So when you enter the field, you have +1 attack. Then when you Mega, you get another +1. So that's +2 guaranteed attack. Toxic Power, use moves when target poison, battle poison, 30% extra damage. I don't see Hostile Environment here. Wait, no, here it is. Twin Needle Hostile Environment. So this puts Twin Needle's percent chance up to 30. Then Toxic Power, so you get a damage bonus when you use Fell Stinger. You have Blind Spot. You use when the user's evasion is raised, the more powers with your sync move. I think with 192 base power, this is going to be his best source of damage. Applies super effective next to the user when it knocks out an opponent with a move. Bob and Weave, the more evasion is raised, the more powers with the user's move. So 30, 60, so you get 60%. Then if you have Bug Zone, that goes up to 110% extra damage off of a 52 BP move. So you would really have to power up Fell Stinger with all of these nodes. That goes up to 72. Like, you're not gonna use him for on move damage. Like, let's be honest. Where he's really going to shine is Blind Spot, Super Victory, and Bug Zone. Because your goal is to get his attack up to +6, have that guaranteed crit via sure crit, victory lap, whatever. And your goal is to kill a side, get your super effective up, get your critical hit next, whatever. You max out your own evasion, Bug Zone up, and you hit the middle for as hard as you can. That's gonna be his goal. Now, the fact that they took such a useless sync pair and actually made a strategy with him to be somewhat viable is honestly very impressive. But do I think this unit is good? Still, no, not necessarily. There are way better bug types in the game. But I think this is very interesting. All because when you mega, you get the attack stat before. So when you hit with 192 BP move, 508 attack, with an X2, 50% via Bug Zone, then Super Victory with Super Effective next, CS2 here, CS2 via... Oh, wait. I missed this. When he megas, he gets amped up. Whoops. Well, either way, when you mega, the battle should be done. Or close to it, at least. But yeah, he can actually max out his own... He can actually max out his own speed. I can't believe I missed that. So yeah, he can max out his own speed in mega. Why did I not check that? Whatever. But yeah, he has potential. You can actually use him for something. It's viable. But is it something you should do often? Will you pull out your hair for it? Maybe. I want to try this, like, very badly. Because I will have Bug Zone very soon. I'm going to be selling for that soon. And I want to try this. Like, I don't think this is copium. I think it's possible. I think you could do it. But yeah. So, that's going to be it for this video. And yeah, not much else to really say. These are all very good additions, giving more stuff love that should. Just give me a Hapu grid. I would love that. Anyway, bye.